Right, so I was just giving a hint for carbonyl carbon because carbonyl functional groups you are already familiar with. So these are of high concern in such a case. So we are having a different functional group: aldehyde, ketone, carboxylic acid, acid halide, anhydride, and acid amides. So nitrogen having one non-bonding electron pair in case of amide is having a high tendency to donate electron density, mean it has a highest mesomeric factor. So in that case, if it is donating most, so single bond character shall be high. Compare this with oxygen having two non-bonding electron pair have a competition. So due to this competition, so it tendency of donating electron density decreases. All right. So as a result, what happened? These electron pairs are not transferred equally. So this the single bond character decreases. If it is anhydrides, acid chloride, bromide, iodide, commonly called acid halides. All halogens have three non-bonding electron pairs, so tendency to donate electron pair shall further decrease. So as a result, we can conclude theoretically the acid halide should have poor contribution towards resonance, mean they are acting as a least plus R effect. As a result, we shall get maximum double bond character. So if you look at this value, it is absorbing at largest value 1750 to 1850. Now why 1750 to 1850? Because we haven't defined this R group. If this R is also electron donating, so this double bond, single bond character shall, if it is aromatic, let's say this is alkyl group, then it should be closer to 1850. Because we haven't defined the other side is R, that's why we are having a range. If this is alkyl, then it shall be closer to 1850. If it is also aromatic, then this value shall be closer to 1750. I hope this shall be clear right now. Second, we have acid, carboxylic acid, esters, and anhydride. If you look at this oxygen, which is attached here, is not only delocalized here, but it is also delocalized to another carbonyl of anhydride. So this oxygen lone pair, one, it is having two non-bonding electrons where this is involved this side, this is also involved other carbonyl side. So that's why it shall have a poor contribution. So in anhydride, in all these three oxygens, you see this value is largest. For carboxylic esters and carboxylic acids and esters, you see there is not a very big difference. They are very close to each other. So because they have only oxygen, it is only delocalized in this case. So this is the overall difference between the amides. And if you look at the amides are donating electron density here to maximum extent. So single bond character is here more in case of amides. So force constant should be least. Now look at this value. It is absorbing at least value 1630. Lowest value is for amides. Lowest. And highest value is for acid halides that you have seen theoretically. I am speaking. So lowest value theoretically should be that of amides, which we get the same. Highest value should be for acid halides, which we observe the same as well. So oxygen is in between two. In between two. This is not that much poorly electron withdrawing. Poorly it is not donating electron density. This is not as good as nitrogen. This is in between. So they absorb in between as well. So these are the theoretical aspects. Hydrogen is an alkyl and in ketones and aldehyde, they are not donating by mesomeric factor, but they can donate by inductive effect. Alkyl group if present here, it is electron donating group. All right. If hydrogen, it is not electron donating, not electron withdrawing. So that's why this value is different. For ketone, you see they are having a no mesomeric factor is engaged in aldehydes and ketones. right? So this is just a justification why different functional groups of carbonyl appears at different in IR region, starting from 1630 to you see 1850. This is approximately 200 per centimeter range in which different functional groups shall absorb. So amides shall absorb least value. Similarly, maximum value you shall absorb for acid halides. In case of anhydride, because this oxygen is not only engaged here, this is also engaged with another carbonyl, it is further making this destabilized. It is not that much available. That's why this value is also approaching very similar to to acid halides. This is the reason, right? Similarly, these are moderate values for oxygens in between amides and acid halides. So aldehyde and ketone doesn't have a mesomeric factor, but they have a minute inductive effect. So as a result, they are having the standard values, not a very big difference in the cases. So the last factor I am interested to introduce here is IR absorbance is the hydrogen bonding. If you remember, there are two kinds of hydrogen bonding. One is called intramolecular hydrogen bonding, another is called intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Let's see, I have presented this with an example. So this is the structure number one. If you remember, salicylic acid. This is the ester of salicylic acid. This is the methyl salicylate commonly called, but this is called ortho-methyl salicylate. Mean at methyl we have the ester of this. This is the hydroxyl OH group. Phenolic OH is present next to ester group. This is what called salicylate. Salicylic acid we have OH here. Ortho-hydroxy benzoic acid is commonly called salicylic acid. So this is a ortho derivative and this is a para derivative. So these are the two isomers. But in this case, look at the difference. This OH is making a hydrogen bonding with the carbonyl within the molecule. So that's why this is called intramolecular. Intramolecular means intra means inside. Inside a molecule hydrogen bonding. So this is a intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Now you can argue why this carbonyl is making hydrogen bonding. Why not this oxygen? This carbonyl oxygen, why this is making such? Why not this oxygen? Keeping in mind, this oxygen also have two non-bonding electron pair. This oxygen also have two non-bonding electron pair. You have seen in previous mesomeric factor, this oxygen attached to carbonyl, it donates electronic density here. So these lone pairs are engaged or they are delocalized here. All right. So it is not much available. But look at these two non-bonding electron pair present on this oxygen, carbonyl oxygen. Keeping in mind these two carbon non-bonding electron pair are perpendicular to this carbon oxygen bond. This pi bond and this non-bonding electron pair, they are perpendicular to each other. If it is making a sigma bond, pi bond in x-axis, so the other two non-bonding electron pair are along y-axis and z-axis. So they are not participating in this resonance. That's why we shall call these lone pairs are localized, and these lone pair on this oxygen are delocalized. This is a difference. So these are delocalized. This lone pair on this oxygen is delocalized, so it is not available. In contrast to this oxygen, where two lone pairs are not they are localized, they are not delocalized in resonance. That's why they are much available. This is the reason always carbonyl oxygen make hydrogen bonding. Keeping in mind, not this oxygen of carboxylic acid or ester oxygen make such bond, right? So this is the intramolecular hydrogen bonding we are observing. And in case this isomer, when both these carbonyl and this hydrogen, they are far away from each other, they cannot make hydrogen bond. So what shall happen? They shall make intermolecular hydrogen bond. One molecule of this hydrogen and the carbonyl of other molecule shall make a hydrogen bonding. This is called intermolecular hydrogen bonding, the hydrogen bonding between the molecule. Intramolecular means within a molecule. So this is a, it also affect their very important aspects. Let's say these are the molecules. If let's say both of these are suppose two isomers are liquids, they are not liquid, they are solids. But let's see any two molecules are, both molecules are liquids. One is showing intramolecular, other is showing intermolecular hydrogen bonding. In such a case, the boiling point, which in case intermolecular hydrogen bonding is there, it shall have higher boiling point than the one which have an intramolecular hydrogen. Because here between the molecule there is no force of attraction, so they shall be having a lower boiling point. This is very simple if you compare water with ethanol. Ethanol has a boiling point 76 degrees Celsius, whereas water has a boiling point 100 degrees Celsius. So why? Because in case of ethanol and water, what is the difference? Oxygen bonded with hydrogen, one in case of ethanol. In case of water, same oxygen is bonded with two hydrogens. In case of ethanol, one hydrogen is replaced by ethanol, ethyl group. So what is happening? In case of water, there are more hydrogen bondings per molecule, whereas in case of ethanol, there is intermolecular hydrogen bonding only possible. So this molecule, in case of water, each water molecule have more than one hydrogen bonding because it has two OH bonds, polar bonds, right? So it makes, if you remember hexagonal geometry, six ring, three water molecule engage in that and makes three hydrogen bondings. So this is the three hydrogen bonding per water molecule. In case of ethanol, there is only one. So that's why there are more interaction between the molecule in water. That's why we need more energy to evaporate, to bring the vapor pressure of water equal to atmospheric pressure, commonly called boiling. So very similar is here. The properties of molecule changes due to intra and intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So if a molecule have a intramolecular hydrogen bonding or intermolecular hydrogen bonding, we can confirm this with a very important aspect that we call dilution. So I think you are having a next class. So I shall not interfere further. So I shall explain how we can differentiate between intra and intermolecular hydrogen bonding on the basis of IR spectrum. So we shall do this in next lecture on Monday, inshallah.